Hello everybody, Wilson here, back with another OZARK review. This time I'm gonna be giving a recap and review slash thoughts. This is about OZARK Season 3 Episode 7, titled In Case of Emergency. Just gonna go character by character and let you guys know what my thoughts were about what they did in the episode. So, usually I start with Marty Bird, but this time I will start with Ruth. So it seems like the FBI are like really cracking down on the Navarro cartel and everyone affiliated with it, including Marty and Ruth. And that's why the episode started with Trevor and Maya just questioning Ruth, but good thing Helen was there as her attorney because she is a lawyer, so she's representing Marty and Ruth. Basically seemed like the FBI were trying to make the KC mob go against like Marty and the Navarro cartel. By the way, they were just bringing things up, you know, because it was the KC mob crew that died. There was like 3 of them, including Tommy, but Tommy is a scumbag, but still didn't deserve to die like that, you know. So yeah, Ruth is kind of like in panic mode, I guess, just because she almost died, you know. She's been tortured before. Luckily she wasn't with Tommy and the other 2 gentlemen before they were killed. And looks like there's a feud with Frank Jr. because he blames Ruth and Marty for their, like, his friend's deaths. Apparently Frank believes that Ruth and Marty and all of them knew that Tommy was a CI, like an informant for the FBI, and that's why Marty had Tommy killed. I could see where that's coming from, but it wasn't the case, and Frank Jr. was not having it. He was not thinking, you know, it was all bad. And what ended up happening is that Frank decided to just beat Ruth up pretty badly, which made her go to the hospital with broken ribs and internal bleeding. Yeah, was not good for Ruth. It sucks to see that she had to go down in this episode. Like, she just goes through so much shit, you know? Her father died, she killed her uncles, Wyatt hates her, she got tortured last season by water torture, and now she gets beat up, kicked into the hospital, literally. But good thing Ben was there, because, you know, Ben is still there being supportive as ever. He's just on Ruth's side. He really cares about her, so that's cool. And more about Ruth, Wyatt didn't show up to the hospital. Instead, he showed up at the end because 3 went to Wyatt and Darlene's place and basically confronted him about why he didn't show up to the hospital to see Ruth. But in the end, Wyatt did show up and saw Ruth, and he made like a pretty funny remark when he was just like, isn't that guy too old for you or something? I thought that was just funny to throw in there, considering that he's kind of with Darlene, who's way older. So this guy, what is he thinking, right? Talking out his ass. It seems like Ruth really wants to get her revenge on Frank Jr., but Marty doesn't want that happening because after that incident, Marty basically cut ties with the KC mob, Frank Cosgrove and everything, which is gonna create another shitstorm in my opinion. Ruth was supposed to be untouchable according to Marty, but dude, she got beat up so bad, and I guess it makes sense to break ties with the KC mob. Ruth is taking it a lot more personally and just wants Frank Jr. to die. Will he die? Maybe. I think he might. Moving into Wyatt for a little bit, since I did mention him already. It seems like he told Darlene the truth about Ruth and how Ruth got his father and uncle killed. And then Darlene just opens up with even worse stuff. Like, how I would say worse is the fact that instead of him telling her about his cousin killing people, she straight up told him that she killed her late husband, Jacob, because I guess she blames the birds, saying that ever since the birds got in, Jacob changed and just made him spiral out, and she wasn't having it, so she killed him because Jacob was ruining their Snell legacy. Yeah, she's ruthless. You know, Darlene is crazy. And I guess Wyatt also has the same feelings, where he doesn't like the birds because ever since they came into town, his life has went to shit. Moving on to Ben, because we also mentioned him with him and Ruth. Looks like this whole time he was just he was trying to escape. He was just trying to leave and flee, trying to protect Ruth, just get out of the country, go to Canada, but that is not ideal. Yeah, so I guess Ruth confronted him, told him that, well, he found out that she knows about his bipolarness, and I guess he might have had a really bad history with Wendy and how she left when she was just 18 and he felt really lonely and stuff. He's just disappointed that Wendy told her, but at the same time, he's claiming that he wanted to tell Ruth himself about his bipolarness. And he's just also surprised how everyone's just acting normal throughout this whole drug cartel warfare thing going on. Now we got Marty Bird. So I explained how he ended the relationship with Frank because Frank can't control his people. Like, Tommy became an informant and his son is just going ballistic, beating up Ruth, and that's a no-no. We got Marty getting questioned by Trevor and Maya. You know, they wanted him to kind of join their side and go against the Navarro cartel, but hell no, that's not the plan. I don't know what Marty's play is, but he's still trying to crack down on... He's in the process of trying to get Maya to join the Navarro cartel, I think, but that's pretty difficult. It's like an uphill battle right now. But Maya decides to, you know, dig deep. She caught Sam losing $250,000 and asked for his statements and everything. And Sam's like tripping all over right now and he's very scared, so he's trying to get Marty to help him get out of this mess. Maya even went to the extent of visiting the Birds' home and told Wendy about the deal that she offered Marty. And because Marty didn't tell her about the deal, you know, man, they're still keeping secrets behind each other's back. Of course, Wendy wasn't down for that, because, like, what does Maya think? Like, if Marty is a convicted felon and he takes the deal, he can't have a license to own the casino, so that would totally be the bad move and it would be a downfall for the Bird family. A little more about Wendy. She had another phone call with Navarro. She's been having a lot of phone calls with him lately. Basically told him straight out, like, you gotta lay low. The Birds, we are the face of the brand. You know, with people trusting them and everything, good things will come for him, whether it's fortune, safety, whatever. They're like acting as a safety net and shield in that aspect of keeping a positive profile. And in this episode, it also showed Wendy trying to push for the charitable donations, and I think she had a visit with some dude. I'm not exactly sure, but it sounded like she blackmailed him. So I guess things are going well in that aspect, but it's odd that she had to go with that tactic of blackmail. Alright, the kids, Charlotte and Jonah, didn't really have a big role. Like, they just know everything, right? But it didn't seem like they had much more to deal with. Jonah had the drone record what happened to the KC mob's men, where the truck blew up and everything. And then he showed Charlotte, and they know that Aaron's going through stuff, especially because Tommy died and she liked him. That's pretty much it with the kids in this episode from my perspective. Now we got Helen. She's psycho. Like, she does not trust people. She is just a lawyer. She confirmed that the Laguna cartel is laying low now because the FBI is like, they're all over the Ozarks right now. She had a moment with her daughter Erin, where Erin actually wants to stay in the Ozarks rather than go home to her father and brother, because I guess she doesn't want to be bored as hell. And then funny thing is, Helen knew about Sue, who is the family therapist, and she found Sue coming, like, rolling up with her yellow Lamborghini and everything. Probably like she used the money she got from the Birds family to get that. And Helen wasn't having it. She found out that Sue was just a loose end who happens to know a lot more information than she should, and she ends up getting her killed, man. Like, she hires Mendoza, or I think that's Mendoza, like the hitman, to just go in as a potential new patient, but it was actually a hit to kill Sue. But sadly, Sue got pretty greedy, and that sucks on her part. Rest in peace to Sue, you know. Sue, the greatest listener, didn't deserve to die like that. Sad that she got greedy a little bit, but at least she owned the Lamborghini for a bit, even though the Lamborghini is buried under the lake now. So that's about it for this episode. In case of an emergency, Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please let me know what your thoughts were in the comment section below. Give this video a thumbs up, would totally appreciate it as always. And last but not least, feel free to subscribe. I'm always excited to cover OZARK stuff. I only have 3 episodes left. Gonna get through all of it soon, so tune in for more. Peace out.